I love bringing up my trauma.
Yes. Don't we all? Don't we all? We have some shared trauma. Well, I wanted to just dive right in and ask you about your time in New York and your interest in creating a space for artists and creatives to feel safe, particularly artists of faith.
Yeah.
And how that may or may not continue to shape the work you do now to support artists.
Yeah, so I moved into New York in '95, and I think if I'm honest, I think I didn't have any friends, and I was just looking for ways to meet people. But I did see that I met a lot of artists whose faith was important to them, and they didn't necessarily. Some of them didn't really feel supported by the church. Some of them felt like, is it okay to branch away from, how they grew up in terms of artistic expression? Is it okay to explore different things? And so we just kind of would gather together, and it was called The Haven, and we would not only kind of congregate and just hang out, but we would always have like a time of thanks where we would people just stand up randomly and just say what they're thankful for, because it was so easy to get really discouraged. And then also we would do a lot of service projects just to honestly forcibly just get our eyes off of ourselves, because as an actor, I'm the product. I'm selling myself. I literally give you a headshot of my face as my resume, and it's like, it's all about me. So it's like we would do like, a pie bake for the homeless. We would do this service project in Valentine's Day for AIDS patients and all this stuff. And it was just like, it kind of, my friend Kathy Karbowski and I started it, but then it just kind of became this other thing where everybody started getting involved. And you could tell people were really hungry just to congregate around like-minded people, but still feeling the individuality of their own calling and their own artistic expression,
Yeah, I love that. And I think I'll ask you another question that I watched a previous interview you did with Stephen Colbert, and he said, well, isn't that the church? Shouldn't that be where artists of faith are gathering and congregating? And I think a lot of artists, a lot of us who have inhabited two different worlds in our faith and our creative space may or may have not found the church to be that space for creatives. And I think you're lucky if you have found it in certain cases.
I think that's a really good point. And when I came to New York, I felt like the church, there wasn't a lot of those opportunities. And there was a lot of just, especially being I was from the South, and it was somebody even going into the arts, there was an understanding of it. So I felt like that void was in the church, but now I feel like churches are really beginning to wake up to a lot, obviously, artists and what artists need and the different personalities of artists, to give them space and also just, incorporating them in, obviously, worship and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that we're in a point in culture, too, where we need our artists more than ever to show the church the way.
I think there's a unique thing in that, because an artist, I think, sees, kind of sometimes brings a mirror to society in order to not shame society, but to see a different perspective of it. And that mirror is messy, and many times, and not that, teaching is wonderful, music is wonderful, but in terms of messiness, in terms of the rawness of what a visual can bring or a performance of something, the reality of it, even though it's kind of jarring and a lot of people don't want to see it, it's like there's also that connection point of like, oh my God, that's my life, and the redemption that can come from that.
Yeah.